This is Think. It's like Think, but with an M instead of an N, so it's Think, podcast for learning, an educational-ish podcast. We do the thinking so you don't have to. This is a very special broadcast. First time in months, first time since we remember, getting the crew together for Thanksgiving, our own holiday, which is very similar to a U.S. national holiday. Well, my lights just changed. That was a cool little effect. I'm your host, as always, Nicholas Rue, and I'll pass off the mic to my also host below me.
Hello,
Paul Vine.
I'm here. Hello, it's Paul. I was waiting for Nick to hand the mic, which is really hard to do when you're doing things remotely.
It's in the mail. I got it sent priority mail.
Yeah. So
You'll get it in
it'll
time
take
for Christmas.
6 to 8 weeks to arrive.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Actually,
I'm here.
Paul, I got your present today. I bought your Christmas present.
Oh,
and I
that's
don't know
nice.
if I'm going to get it in time, but I think you'll think it's funny.
Okay. That reminds me, I need to do some Christmas shopping of my own, which I was reminded of earlier tonight, talking to Sarah. But my brain has been just fog for the last months, but really the last week has just. I feel like Frodo going up Mount Doom at this point.
And also with us, we have John.
Samwise Gamgee.
Yes, the dropship doyen.
Sorry, I assumed you wanted to be John for this. I didn't know if you wanted to be anybody else.
You can be
John
anybody you want.
Yeah, no, John is fine. John is going to cut it. That you write a check for John and it'll cash. So
You can be
That's
Prince
What
Charles.
what fictional, specifically Lord of the Rings character have you been feeling like lately?
Aragorn.
That's pretty cool.
the dragon.
Just
novel?
because of he has long hair, I have long hair.
That's all
He
you
has
need.
a beard.
That's all you need.
I have a beard.
Yeah.
He's coated as white. I'm coated as white. Yeah, that's it. That's I feel a lot like that all the time.
I feel like Smaug because my back hurts, and I imagine that's how Smaug feels all the time after sleeping on a pile of gold. Not good for the spine, even if you're a talking dragon.
Yeah, they really the plot of The Hobbit should have been getting him a chiropractor.
Mm-hmm. Getting Smaug a sleep number bed.
Do you think chiropracting?
Chiroprancy.
Chiropractic, yeah, that's the wizard of the back.
Yeah, do you think that exists in the Lord of the Rings universe? Like, does the Middle Earth have a chiropractor?
No, but I think that like traditional Chinese medicine guys are definitely active in Middle Earth.
Okay. That feels
think-
like some shit like the I guess the dwarves would be into.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
They're so far
here's-
away from everybody else. They had to develop like
Their own traditional techniques.
So
of
you're
medicine.
saying in Lord of the Rings, in Middle Earth, are there chiropractors?
yeah, that's the question. Because like the whole thing with chiropractors is that the guy.
Not in so many words. I assume they just have guys with those stretching machines.
I feel like there's a lot of like, dude, crack my back, like going on.
Yeah, it's a
in
real,
Lord of
it's
the
a real
Rings.
back cracking,
But
bro.
I don't think that would have progressed from like a cottage industry to like a full blown professional thing.
I mean, realistically, right? Like chiropractors came about because some guy said that a ghost revealed to him the secrets of how to fix the human body
That's
or
not
whatever.
real.
That's true.
That's
That's
not
true.
real.
The guy who invented chiropractor,
Joseph Smith.
chiropractor, yes, basically, was like, yeah, ghost appeared to me in a dream and told me how to fix people's bodies by cracking their back or
Now,
whatever.
like angels or like a ghost?
Like a ghost. Like literally, he says a ghost from like the 1800s like appeared to him and told him how to do this.
So
The point is
getting your
that
back chiropracted is inherently pro ghost?
It's at least it's yes.
Cool. All right, I'm in favor of that. I'm taking my beanie off. Let's see how crazy my hair gets. Well, this has been a fascinating start to our Thanksgiving episode. Speaking of origins,
This could go anywhere.
Well, this could go anywhere. We're at the start of it. This is the origin of the episode. This is our new origin. This is our, we're all LeBron. And
this is our
Algae
X-Men
Rhythm
origins.
is about to show up and suck us into Casablanca's.
Casablanca?
Casablanca.
Casablanca. Sorry, Casablanca is fucking me up.
Yeah, that's Casablanca that takes place in the Lord of the Rings universe. Can you imagine Humphrey Bogart?
Like White Castle, yeah.
Yeah.
White Castle
that,
also canonically
Isn't that
takes place in Middle Earth.
is that what Minas Tirith translates as?
Yeah, the White Castle.
The White Castle, yeah.
The White Castle.
I don't understand
That's what
reference.
Denethor was fucking slamming when Mary or whoever had to sit there and watch him eat it. He was just slamming
it's Pippin.
sliders.
It's Pippin in that scene.
Sorry, you're right. It is Pippin.
Thank you.
Who's Danthor and what's he slamming?
He's slamming a crave case, man.
All tight.
Just like that guy just like housing a bunch of fucking like White Castle sliders
It's
during
so
that
funny
scene.
that
That would be
that's
good.
John Noble, who like at that point was not apparently really well known. This is the thing I saw people talking
In the
about the
book?
other day. Is it? Yeah, it was in the book. J.R.R. Tolkien wrote the role for John Noble.
Wait, who's the guy? John Noble? I don't know if I know this guy.
John Noble, he's in Fringe. It's the thing is like Lord of the Rings kickstarted his career, and then he became every bad dad.
We are like fucking 7 minutes in, and we're already talking about C-list actors from Fringe. Let's go. We're
here's the
fucking
thing.
back.
He plays-
Thimk is back, baby.
He plays the shitty dad in Fringe. He plays the shitty dad in Sherlock. He like literally. I'm pretty sure he's a shitty dad in fucking Person of Interest. Like,
I thought you were about to say in real life.
I mean, I'm not going to say in real life. I think John Noble's great. He was in the newest Conjuring movie.
He looks like a nice guy. He's got a nice face.
Paul, are you on? Did I happen to give you my HBO at any point?
No.
Someone's watching Person of Interest on HBO, and I
Hell yeah.
assumed that. I don't
was
think
not
there's
me.
anybody else.
I didn't know it was
besides
on.
Jeff.
I did not know it was on
Max.
HBO,
Could be
baby.
Max.
I got that on the Plex.
Person of Interest is the one with the guy from Lost, right?
Ben Linus.
Yeah,
Ben
it's
Linus, yeah.
Michael Emerson.
Michael
Yeah.
Emerson.
Michael Emerson basically invented the Patriot Act
Okay, so I
and
think
is
what
using
it
it
is.
to hire Jesus to shoot people in the leg.
I think I gave Michael access to my HBO Max so he would finally watch The Leftovers, and he got 9 episodes in and was just like, "Man, I miss Michael Emerson," and started watching Person of Interest
Yeah.
instead, which feels totally like Whiplash of what I know of these shows.
Yeah, The Leftovers is a lot heavier than Person of Interest, which literally has there's a scene that somebody that I follow on Twitter posted where like it's like a wedding and somebody shows up, I think to shoot the guy at the wedding, and fucking Jim Caviezel just rolls up, shoots the guy in the leg, and just looks like happy marriage, and then drives off.
Isn't Jim Caviezel like a conservative guy now?
Oh yeah, dude, he was at the
Yeah,
QAnon.
Passion of the
Oh, he's a
Christ.
QAnon
Oh wait,
guy?
he's got QAnon?
Yeah, he was at like a QAnon conference.
Cool.
Which leads me into the next topic, which is why we haven't recorded for 6 months. Is because Nick and I have been making semi-regular pilgrimages to Dallas for the return of JFK Jr.
Yeah.
Who's going to announce that he is running with Trump as his VP.
Yeah, it's been frustrating because we spend all this time packing, and then we get to Dallas and we spend several days waiting for JFK Jr. to show up, and then he doesn't. So then we pack everything back, and then we get back, and as soon as we get back, we hear another date that he's going to come back. So we've just been constantly packing and unpacking and going to Dallas.
It would be so much simpler just to move to Dallas. But
Who wants to live in Dallas?
I can't. I don't even know the answer to that question. I can't name a single famous person from Dallas.
The cast of Dallas.
I don't think they lived in Dallas. I think.
You think
Was
they
that
just went
set-
there for this show?
This
Was it-
preposterous. Why would they shoot the show there and not live there?
Yeah.
Was it set in Dallas?
What-
I thought
why
Dallas
else
was
would
in
it be
Yeah,
Dallas.
it's
called
called
Dallas?
Dallas. It's
I
called.
thought it was a dude's
the
name.
show is called Dallas.
You thought a guy?
I thought
Why
it was
would
a guy named
Dallas?
There's only one person named Dallas, and it's Bryce Dallas Howard, and she doesn't live in Dallas, as far as I know.
Occam's razor is clear.
Sure.
here.
Okay. Fine.
It's a
All
show
right.
about
All right.
Dallas.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll take the hit on that one.
Yeah, why don't you watch Dallas
must-
and then tell us all about what it's actually about?
Nick, you would hate me even more if I got really into the TV show Dallas.
I would be fascinated. I think that's a level of like, I would respect that. Rather
mean,
than
the
a
thing
modern
with-
trash show, you're like dipping back to watch a mid 80s trash show. And not the Dallas reboot, because they got a new Dallas.
Yeah, they moved it to
Or they
San
did have
Francisco.
a new Dallas.
There's a new Dallas in town. Dallas is like the original show, right? Of It Was All a Dream.
It was the first TV show.
Yeah, they never did. They didn't even have TVs. They were halfway through the airing of Dallas before they invented television. That was like the first show though that they did. They pulled the, we got to retcon this real bad, so it was all a dream.
Yeah, I believe so. But also there's 357 episodes of Dallas.
Oh my god!
And then the new
Whoa.
one that started in 2012, it only ran until 2014, is a continuation, not a reboot, and it has 40 more episodes. So,
So that's like a 400 episode arc.
Yeah.
There.
Well, television used to be longer, right? Like in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they used to do more.
they used to play it at
episodes.
half speed.
Yeah.
Everything used to be a lot slower.
But like,
You could run the episode at 33 and a third RPM, or you could run it faster at 45 RPM.
Which, okay,
to watch it
side note
quicker.
real quick.
I only watched Dallas in 78.
Do you know the thing about the new Taylor Swift album? And the Target reviews?
Yeah, I've heard of this. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Like, I genuinely was confused the first time I encountered a 45, and everything sounded
It's kind of weird. Like, if you had to explain it from scratch, you'd be like, well, yeah, there's two different speeds.
Yeah.
There just are. And you just have to know which one you're supposed to use.
Well, and
simultaneously,
and
it is hilarious that people are leaving reviews saying, like, I got a copy with a man singing, because that world where you just, like, someone in the Taylor Swift read Taylor's version pressing plant snuck their own cover album in to the package, and that's what you're listening to instead.
What it
be
is,
so
it's Red Taylor Lautner's version.
Man, don't even say his name. Fuck Taylor Lautner. You know he didn't come back to reprise his role as Lava Boy in the Netflix show.
Unforgivable.
Unforgivable.
I here's the thing. Like, I get that because I especially like 78s. I feel like are pretty upfront that they're 78s because A, it's really rare, and
Yeah,
B,
isn't it 78? You can only listen on one of those old timey like horns.
I've actually heard that you can play them on modern record players. That a modern if
you
you can
really?
get one with the speed.
you can.
I've heard this. I've never tried.
The thing is that you cannot clean them with the same thing because 78s, like, or at least vintage 78s, are made with shellac. That
Yeah,
if you try to
different.
use like a vinyl cleaning solution, it will just like destroy.
Is shellac what they put
78.
in Skittles?
Yeah. Sure. And
What is shellac? Isn't it bugs?
It's
like
band.
it's essentially like a protoplastic. I mean,
It's an old because it's before we invented plastic.
Yeah, but it's made out of bugs. Yeah.
It might be made out of bugs.
I think so. Yeah, it's it's like an old industrial supply. But the funniest thing is that there are actually like 16 RPM records, like vocal, just like spoken word records were sometimes recorded at 16 RPM. And in the jazz record library, we used to have we had a record player that could play 16 RPM
Oh, cool.
records. So we would just spin like normal records.
Yeah, of course, right? Yeah.
Just hours of fun to do that.
And it's, if you probably don't own a lot of records, and especially you're going to like Target, which gives you no guidance in terms of records, you're not going to know the different speeds.
No, and it's a lot of the time it's not super clearly marked. I'm sure on the Taylor Swift ones it's marked.
Mm-hmm. But still, you
I
don't
would
know what
I
that
would
means.
assume, but even I mean, one of the records I think that I bought from Reckless recently, like I put on, and like obviously I've listened to stuff enough to be like, this is not correct, this is not the right speed, and I had to double
You
check
get
and
the
be like,
sound after a while, but it's hard to tell. Like,
yeah, it's like you have to
especially
look at the center
the
part,
label.
the
Yeah,
label.
but there are like so I'll like throw on like dance records and stuff, and most dance 12 inches don't come with that information, and sometimes, and you usually assume, oh, it's probably a 45, but not necessarily, and you just kind of have to discover by trial and error.
Yeah, the U2
like,
dance.
I have a few like Smallville records that are just like no information. I can't even tell. They sound good at both speeds. So
Yeah, no, the
I don't
U2 dance mixes were 45s.
yeah,
Like
that's
that,
the like a standard 12-inch is gonna be 45, but they're like sometimes like you'll get like 2 times 12-inch for like in a dance LP, and sometimes you'll have a mix of speeds in there.
Yeah,
kind of, I don't know. Anyway, you want to be welcoming to the Taylor Swift fans. They're not bad
well, you
folks.
want to be welcoming, but at the same time, Taylor Swift and Adele have like shut down the pressing plants for.
Yeah, that it is preposterous. I mean,
months.
it's like, yeah, that's
It
all.
is. It is
all I'm gonna
funny.
be able to talk
It is
about for a long
funny
time.
to watch the shift from. I mean, fuck. Like vinyl's always been that like kind of. It was a niche thing. In 2013, when we were getting into it, like heavily getting into it, right?
Yeah,
And then to watch it be like, no, like modern pop artists are putting out records on vinyl because the profit margins are probably pretty good for those because
they're not.
They're not.
They're
Oh,
not
man.
good. No, and there's an interesting article that the guy from Galaxy 500 wrote about this. Like, it's well known that like the profit margins on vinyl are not good for anybody. Like, a record store doesn't make money on selling new records. The artist doesn't make that much money. The label does. Nobody is making money in the transaction. Like, it's. I think it's purely like one, market share, and two, this idea of like canon formation. The idea that like if you're Adele and you press a bunch of records of your new album, they will sell and they'll hang around for a long time, thus rendering your music more viable as like an asset class. I don't know.
I guess.
Yeah. Like
Well,
I think
it's-
I'm sure that somebody's making money off this stuff, but like I don't know. Like I know for a fact that there's not like boatloads of money being realized per LP.
The only other thing that I could think that could be driving then like modern pop artists to get into vinyl is like the collector's edition thing, right? Like because
Yeah.
it is a mindset of like, well, you're just gonna stream this anyway. So if you're gonna support the artist, buy the vinyl, right? And streaming, like, I mean, fuck, they just updated. It's like four years ago now. The RIAA updated like platinum to include streaming, so that you could go platinum through streaming alone.
Yeah.
But it's an absurd amount of streams.
Yeah, but physical sales are the best way to get on the Billboard charts still.
Right. So that
not
makes
that the Billboard charts is that it's not the end of itself, but I think really that the sort of broad purpose of all this isn't really to like, I don't know, maybe the label makes $10 a record and they sell 100,000 of them. That's like pocket change.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're even making that much. I think it's like, I really think it's about like trying to corner the market in every market. Like that's the thing that like all businesses are trying to do, is just like not just corner their market, but
right.
like,
It's not enough to sell a lot. You've got to you've got to have the majority market share, right? Like
yeah,
Sony,
in every
or
space.
yeah, Sony or UMG cannot afford to let indie labels have the vinyl space or whatever.
Yeah, and it's not even that they can't physically afford to. It's just that they're gonna take, like, it's a vacuum, and they're going to rush into it because they can. And like, I don't know. That's the best I can reason it out, because I really can't figure out why Adele and her team, from a financial perspective, would care about selling. Because, like, yeah, they'll sell a lot of vinyl records, like, but it's pittance for what, like, that music is not making money through record sales. It's confusing to me how it is even making money, but like,
well, you saw the Spotify thing, right?
Yeah, that she like convinced them to take
to change if you do not have a Spotify, like a premium Spotify account.
Yeah,
it used to do shuffle only. She got them to get rid of that.
Honestly, that's a big dick move to me.
Yeah, that's kind of
like,
cool.
Good for her. Like, I'm down on the pressing 500,000 records thing, but like,
well,
that's good.
It's just very funny that, like,
wait, so I'm gonna understand this. So on a basic Spotify membership, or if you were using Spotify for free, you couldn't listen to the album in order.
You could not select a song.
Oh, that's
on the album. Like, if you go to the album,
yeah.
I like the way that it works is I think that if you selected a song, it would autoplay an ad, or you could put it on shuffle and it would play an ad, and then you could listen to the album on shuffle. And she got it to change so that the album played in the track list that is set, which is cool.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, as a bunch of people pointed out, like, Spotify still pays out fucking nothing to anybody, and like, if you have the weight to throw around, that's not a fat joke about Adele. But like, if you have the grandiosity or whatever, the gravitas to bring in the old Latin to throw around to get a change from a company like Spotify, and your sticking point is they should play my album in order and not, people should get paid more per stream. There's something kind of funny about that.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, it's still cool, right? Like, I mean, I need to get rid of Spotify because I don't use it all that often.
Yeah, what do you use? Vubo? Flemmy Flop?
Cobas.
What?
I use Cobas.
Cobas?
Cobas, the high-res streaming app.
Oh,
man.
Sorry to hear you have COVID, man.
Does
Cobas 19?
Does the webpage for that just have like Neil Young just giving a thumbs up?
Dude, hold up. Let me just open this up, and I'll give you a reading from the like latest releases on Cobas, because it is always very funny, because it is the most dad rock shit. When we go to Discover, the new releases: Adele, Robert Plant, Ben Lamar Gay, Cat Stevens, Cecilia Bartoli, the legendary 1979 No Nukes concerts by Bruce Springsteen, Micaiah McCraven.
Oh, they have that? That's a good.
Yeah, he's got a new one on Blue Note.
Apollo Brown, Dion, and Music, like Mew-Zik, are the new releases.
Yeah. What's Mew? Say that again.
Mew, like the Greek letter Mew dash.
That doesn't help me.
Zik.
I'm sorry.
It's just one of the. There's just like a lot of music being made.
Yeah, but I can
say. That's like, everyday limitless quantities of music are made.
There's a lot of music now, more than ever.
Now more than ever,
there is music in this world.
We insist on releasing just reams of music into the world.
Just page after page of music.
Yeah. Ton of it.
But yeah, Cobas is just very funny, because it'll be like, yeah, here's the big releases that you know about, but then also here's a high-res version of like a classic Jimi Hendrix album that you didn't know was coming out, but John probably
Paul, you should get really into like Mobile Fidelity gold discs.
That'd be very funny.
You should get really into the stevehoffman.tv forums.
Buddy, you think I haven't been on the SteveHoffman.tv forums?
That's what I do when I'm not working at work. I'll just go on the SteveHoffman.tv forums and just do some enrichment or some extracurricular training activities.
I honestly,
they're great. There's some of the fucking most insane people in the world on there.
Dude, no. So, I mean, I'm on the AVS forums, not actively, but I lurk on the AVS forums for TV projector stuff. And those people are these are the people who will buy a fucking $3,000 TV and spend a week running slides after slides and videos after videos to make sure that it's perfect. And if it's not, they will return it 6 or 7 times until they get a perfect fucking panel. And it's just it's incredible. And it's a thing where it's if you did not run those slides, you would not notice. But whatever, it's fine. But yeah, it's I was on the Steve Hoffman forums for my I have an old Technics turntable Mark 1 SL2 1200, and I just went through fucking hell of a time getting a dust cover for it because A, I needed to get a dust cover anyway, and B, because we're getting a cat. We have a cat now. And cats love to climb on things. And I was like, this is going to be bad news if he can climb on the record player.
Cats also love to claw at record spines.
Yes, I noticed that too.
I always used to buy used records and the spines would just be decimated and I didn't know why. And having seen several cats just fucking stare at a shelf of records.
They love to look at it.
Go, okay, now. Yeah, and then just scratch the shit out of them. I get it.
Well, it's a very colored object. You just
Yeah.
I get it.
Yes.
I mean, if I was looking around my apartment and I had to pick one thing to scratch at, it would be the couch. But if I had to pick something else, love seat. After that, chair.
Yeah.
If we remove furniture from it, it would be records.
But yeah, on the Steve Hoffman forums, the problem I ran into is because I have an old Technics. I bought a dust cover off of Amazon for a different record player that a bunch of people were like, yeah, this works on the SL 1200. It works on the Mark II, I think. It does not work on the Mark I. The hinges on the back do not fit. And so I special ordered a 3D printed part from some guy in France.
Wow.
That shows up. That does not fit with the hinge mechanism from that record, that dust cover. So I had to just get the replacement dust cover from Panasonic, who owns Technics. They have their service store. If you ever have a TV part that breaks and you need a new remote or whatever.
Doesn't the dust cover cost a lot of money?
It cost about as much money as the record player did initially.
Yeah, it's insane.
It was fucking stupid. But
I just sold my old Technics recently.
I got the new dust cover in, and the 3D printed part from the guy in France came in clutch. I did have to sand down the edges because it was too wide to fit into the groove on the back of the fucking record player.
Oh damn.
But I managed to get it to work, and the dust cover is on now. And I have not listened to a single record player since getting that done. But Steve Hoffman forums, somebody mentioned that, and also talked about the using differential fluid that people use for RC cars to put on the tone arm so that it drops slower.
Well, speaking of record players and Steve Hoffman and Adele and Taylor Swift, what, and to get back on theme, what Black Friday deals are you the most excited about? What's your Cyber Monday looking shaping out to be?
I will open this topic up by saying I don't have any plans to purchase anything because we just got a new TV. I got that Sony OLED. It's very nice. Sarah's watching all of Clone Wars on it right now. So I don't plan on purchasing anything on Black Friday. However, the Wirecutter just formed a union, and they are currently going on strike because they are not being paid enough by the New York Times, who acquired them 5 years ago, I believe. And the Wirecutter is a site that I, along with a bunch of people in our age range.
I'm sorry, are they selling anything on a discount?
The wire cutter?
Yeah.
No, but people use them to determine what to buy.
Okay.
And they're going on strike through Black Friday. Like, they're going on strike until Tuesday, and they're asking people not to purchase anything through the wirecutter.com because they are on strike.
Okay.
I've never heard of this website.
No, me either.
Oh, Wirecutter.
But don't look it
rocks.
up now. Don't look it up yet.
I'm
I
not
mean,
looking
you
it up.
can
I'm not
look it up.
looking
Just
it
don't
up.
Typing it
purchase
in,
anything.
John.
I'm not typing.
Don't even look it up because once you look
it's
at
like-
what it has, I know you have one of those weird
Yeah.
webcams where you have like a minority report. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, you got that. You got that Tom Cruise
Tom
fucking
Cruise.
like.
Yeah.
No, but Wirecutter is just like, you're like, damn, I need some new bed sheets. What are some good bed sheets? And you just go to Wirecutter and look up bed sheets, and they'll be like, oh yeah, the LL Bean Pima Cotton sheets are pretty good. And I got those recently,
Pima
and they're
Cotton?
pretty.
I try not
Pretty
to
fucking good.
pee my bed sheets.
Wow.
That's
Ow.
just me. That's just me.
Now I need to go to there's a this is not Black Friday related, but this is
What's it related to?
This is holiday spending related.
Okay.
There is
'Cause
a
this is Thanksgiving. It's definitely a time for us to talk about ourselves and our interests, but
this is we
we haven't even
need to-
cracked into
we-
the story of
we need
the
to keep
first
it
Thanksgiving.
turkey-minded
We
here.
haven't even
Yeah.
talked about the
Turkeys,
presidential
we're gonna get there.
turkey pardon,
We're-
which I
oh,
just
buddy,
want to
we're
get to real quick. Because, I mean, it's been we've only been introing for about 20 minutes now. That's reasonable. We've got a lot. We've got a lot to catch up on in our
It's
trips
been
from
6
Dallas
months.
here and back. I did want to say that we did have issues where we tried to sell every single episode as an NFT, and we did get scammed out of the billions of dollars that we made.
yeah.
Easy
Nick and
come,
I
easy go.
turned ourselves into those monkeys, thinking that we could turn a quick dollar. And we are $45 million in the hole. So.
Yeah, so we do patreon.com/think. We have one patron and we make $1 a month. We need a lot more than that.
We also
shout
put
out to
John's-
Audrey, who I don't think knows she's still signed up for it. And I do not blame for. Also, if you're on Twitch, just click up the picture of Scrooge McDuck and you'll pop up on screen real big. If you want to help us pay for our all the monkeys, all the monkeys we bought. We
The
misunderstood.
fabric of the bit is unfurling.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Nick and I are trying to raise enough money to purchase Davy Jones's skeleton. The guy from the Monkees. But there's a synth store down the street.
You
from
gotta
me
take
that
it at the
does-
level
God.
it's at and give it a little at the level it's at before you immediately jump 3 levels down, brother.
What? Jump what?
Okay, we're talking monkeys. We're talking we
Yeah.
aborted monkey. You go
Yeah.
Davy Jones. You go over
Mon-
here to
the
Davy
monkeys.
Jones.
The monkeys.
positively,
but okay,
positively Joycean levels of reference.
I would be willing to take a poll. I don't know how to do that on Twitch, so we won't do it. But I'm gonna guess based on everything that most people's mind goes to Pirates of the Caribbean, Davy Jones, who owns the locker, way before they ever go to the guy who was in the Monkees, who was in a band that I think most people know as like the band that made
The chat. The
Fuck
chat.
you,
Nick.
that's you. You can't just post. That's you. God, but most people know know the Monkees is the band that Smash Mouth covered for that song in Shrek. So I don't think you could just.
That's right, Daydream Believer.
Yeah,
That's true. I was gonna make a lead.
That is the song they
John,
covered.
what's that electronic band that did Swan's Splashdown?
Tangerine Dream.
Lee and Perrin.
Why are we here now?
That's the Worcestershire sauce. What is that? That's what they ripped. But that's what they ripped off for Walking on the Sun. I can't remember the name
Yes,
of that.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes,
I keep wanting to say Lee Perry, but it's not.
It's not Lee Scratch Perry. No, it's a different
No.
person. Yeah,
Teacher and Ferrara or something like that.
yeah, Abel Ferrara.
Yeah.
But yeah, they ripped
No
that
more
off.
reference jokes, Paul. That's
All right.
Yeah, just don't do that.
I won't make any more jokes. This is a
No, I
serious
welcome
podcast.
jokes, but Abel Ferrara, that's too far a leap.
Look,
Call
I just
you-
watched Body Snatchers.
Call you hold on, world's best.
Anyway, I think I'm gonna go to Target
yeah.
on Black Friday. No, I have to work.
Have you ever actually gone out for Black Friday?
When I was a kid, we would go out in Nashville. We would go out to Best Buy.
Ooh.
That's my memory is when the Wii was
My only
released.
experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like they'd put out like a new fridge would drop or something, and my parents would go out to like look at it, and then unclear. In my adult life, I have not been to a Black Friday event.
It sucks. Like I think the last time I went was I went with my mom because my mom does it. And I think she stopped, but maybe not.
You can see Penny. Penny's here.
Yeah, there's Penny. Hey, Penny. But it's just a bad time. Literally the last time I went, all I remember is like
About Black Friday.
not getting anything from Best Buy, going to Walmart and just watching people like elbow drop each other over copies of like Ice Age 2.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, but Ice Age 2 was on sale for a pretty good rate.
It's I hope that we live to see the end of like Black Friday and associated sales.
I never went as a kid. My dad did get a Wii, but he waited in line, I guess, at a Walmart. I guess it was on Black Friday, but it was a secret for me until that Christmas morning. I think the only time I went was with a group of friends who it was a weekend. It was Black Friday on a weekend. And we like went over a friend's house and then I think had like 2 beers and then decided we wanted to go to Steak and Shake. And then went to Steak and Shake. And then we're like, we're close enough to Kenwood Mall. We should just see what it's like. And then we went.
Man.
And this will date it. And this will also show how much I suck. I was like, oh, they have like 40% off at H&M. I'll stop in and get a bow tie because shut up, because of Dr. Who. because this was like bow ties are cool, was fresh, and it wasn't like I was gonna wear it places, but I thought it would be funny to have.
Man, fucking! I didn't realize
parties.
Matt Smith, the doctor, was on this podcast.
And I thought it'd be funny for parties, and which I still think it'd be funny for parties. I think
it would be. It would be funny.
I think it'd
Bow
be very
ties are funny for
any
parties,
one
but
of us
only
to
on
put on a
pets.
bow tie and then start talking like Matt Smith, doctor, at a party.
That
Half
would
the
be
people
really
would hate
funny.
it, half the people would love it, and so
That would be
the other half
really
would love
funny.
it even more. But then I got in there and it was just people were eating each other. There was blood and guts everywhere. I went in H&M and all the bow ties were covered in blood, which was disappointing because I was looking for a red bow tie, but they were only black bow ties covered in blood. So I left and I didn't get anything. But it was just a complete, everyone there in that mall should have gone to jail.
This phenomenon has developed within our lifetimes, right? Like, was Black Friday a thing in, like, say, 1990?
Oh fuck! We should have done the history of Black Friday for this episode because fuck that I do not know, and I would be fascinated to like find out about the history of Black Friday because
like I feel like this is a total ahistorical thing. I feel like there was a time when like Christmas shopping was just like, oh, a few days before Christmas, you kind of just do it, like Jingle All the Way style. You just like, you shop for some stuff a couple days before. And then now it's like right now, like if you want to buy Christmas gifts, you have like a week to do it.
yeah, it's too late. It's too late. Especially
it's too late to get anything shipped to you, period. Like it's not going to happen.
I wonder if Black Friday, this is me speculating, but I wonder if Black Friday rose out of, like, I think it existed to some degree, but I wonder if it became an institution because of the rise of online shopping, right? Like because of the rise of Amazon.
Here's what I got. And this is from history.com, so it's legit.
I'm going to cite history.com later for the turkeys. So
Oh, there's going to be a later? Jesus. The real history behind Black
this is a
Friday.
6-hour
however-
stream.
Oh, fuck. Shannon, we open up 4 bottles of wine. I'm going to go
John's off tomorrow.
go to sleep with me too. The real history behind Black Friday, however, is not as sunny as retailers might have you believe. Back in the 1950s, police in the city of Philadelphia used the term to describe the chaos that ensued on the day after Thanksgiving, when hordes of suburban shoppers and tourists flooded into the city in advance of the big Army-Navy football game held on that Saturday every year. Not only would Philly cops not be able to take that day off, but they'd have to work extra long shifts dealing with the additional crowds and traffic. Shoplifters would also take advantage of the bedlam in stores to make off with merchandise, adding to the law enforcement headache. By 1961, Black Friday had caught on in Philly to the extent that merchants and boosters tried to unsuccessfully to change it to Big Friday in order to remove the negative connotations. The term didn't spread to the rest of the country.
Boy.
Yeah, I'll let you unpack this one so I can get done reading this paragraph. The term didn't spread to the rest of the country, especially with the cop being, it's a police term. The term didn't spread to the rest of the country until much later, however, and as recently as 1985, it wasn't common use nationwide. Sometime in the late 80s, however, retailers found a way to reinvent Black Friday and turn it into something that reflected positively rather than negatively on them and their customers. The Red to Black concept was adopted, and the notion the day after Thanksgiving marked the occasion when American stores finally turned a profit. That story stuck, and soon the term's darker roots in Philadelphia were largely forgotten. Since then, the one-day sales bonanzas morphed into a 4-day event, spawned other retail holidays such as Small Business Saturday, Sunday, Cyber Monday. Stores started opening earlier on that Friday. Now most dedicated shoppers head out right after their meal. Fact check. We strive for accuracy and fairness, but if you see something that doesn't look right, click here to contact us.
I do firmly remember like early Black Fridays, like when I got old enough that my mom would drag me out with her to go Black Friday shopping. I do remember that going from like, this is a 6 a.m. thing to this is a 2 a.m. thing to this now starts like 11 p.m. on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I remember that shift
in Asheville, just, hearing, I forget, I guess it was just like somebody checking their phone or something, and just like, oh yeah, people are at Best Buy like now.
Yeah, I remember my parents making us making me load up a plate of turkey and take it while we stood in line out front of the Kmart.
That's the darkest thing I've ever heard in my life.
The best Black Friday that I've ever had for sure though was in Asheville, John, in 2012 when we went down.
Oh dear. Oh my.
John and I drove down to visit his family for Thanksgiving. We got stuck in traffic. It was turn your car off and take a nap type traffic.
Oh boy.
And like 2 hours later, we were back on the road. We went to a Waffle House. We got into Asheville about 3 a.m. His cousin immediately offered us some weed.
Nice.
This is I think it's the first weed I'd ever smoked. We watched a Dave Matthews Shreds video that is no longer available on YouTube, unfortunately, or at least I cannot find the one that we watched.
See what they took from
that era. Do you remember that little French girl that played Pursuit of Happiness on ukulele?
No.
In the hotel on the thing, and they pushed her on the hotel thing?
Here's the thing.
It's gone.
I remember getting into Asheville. So don't
start remembering it now.
I remember having a great moment where your cousin was just like, yo, check this out. Was showing us how on his bass amp he was able to get that good hip hop bass sound. Like that was such a fucking like that stuck in my head of just like being able to like put on. I miss those
my favorite Black Friday in Asheville was one time. I remember it was before Pine Grove was canceled because I was listening to that album all the time. It was I guess the year before. I think that phenomenon lasted about a year, and I went over and did dabs for the first time, and then put on a VR headset where it would just walk you through a Van Gogh painting.
Nightmare.
Yeah, awesome.
I experienced something really close to ego death at that time, and then I think that was the next day I drove back up.
Well, John, if you got the dabs, I got a new VR headset.
Oh, is it the Quest 2?
Yeah. I'm way past the dabs era of my life.
We're gonna get Nick to play the ghost hunting game in VR at some point.
I'll shit myself.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
fucking booted up Half-Life Alyx the other day, and it's right when a little electric head crab creature scuttles around the corner and then attaches itself to a corpse, and it comes out and it's like, brr. And I fucking backed out. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I love Half-Life so much, and I am afraid of shooting my way through that basement.
I still need to. It's on sale. I may pick it up and then figure out how to get my VR headset.
What,
set
Half-Life
up.
Alyx?
Yeah, it's
You
on
haven't
sale
played
right
it
now
yet?
because no, dude. I haven't since we moved. I haven't been able to get my VR headset set up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got one of the ones.
But I
with
would love to.
sensors,
I would love to also try to figure out how to do Phasmophobia in VR because that seems like a nightmare. John, the kicker for the Black Friday was that we smoked weed with your cousin, and then the next day we were like, let's go see what Asheville has to offer. And we went to the Moog store, and I just remember like
Is that how
spending
you say it? It's Moog?
Yeah, Moog.
Moog.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool that I've
Yeah.
never talked about.
Yeah,
before.
they
I knew-
we
yeah,
use
Moog.
we use some Moog products in our beds, and it is not the same Moog. It is like that guy's brother formed a aerospace company or something.
It's like
So we
Aldi
use,
and
like,
Trader Joe's.
Yeah, it's like we use some of their stuff. But we went to the Moog store, and I remember John got real into either the theremin or it may have been like the
It was a MIDI guitar.
MIDI guitar. Yeah, you got real into it.
I was
and I started
transfixed by that.
and I felt sick, so I went out back and I just threw up in the bushes behind the Moog store in Asheville, and then a UPS driver pulled up and asked if I could sign for a package because he thought I worked there, and I was like literally had just thrown up into a bush and was just like, nah man,
You didn't sign for
you
it?
should talk to somebody else.
Oh, you should have signed for it.
I should have. I could have
Always
gotten
sent for the package.
I could have probably gotten like a bunch of resistors or something for free.
And why did you puke? From the dabs?
No, because I had never smoked
Well,
weed
we
before.
just had a lot to drink and had
Yeah, it was like a
smoked
it was
some
a-
high grade.
Yeah, it was a combination like smoking weed for the first time and drinking the night
Yeah.
before on not an empty stomach because we had Waffle House, but like it was just it did not agree with me.
Yeah, I am streaming
Yeah.
this, by the way. So everybody knows that you,
Yeah,
you
I'm
both
gonna
That
get
Paul
arrested.
smoked weed.
small
That's
Nobody-
illegal in Ohio.
small
the,
poke
the
weed.
trick
To
hey,
do.
The
Illegal.
trick is
But this is being
no-
broadcast.
nobody watches this
from-
podcast.
That's not
Yeah.
true. We actually have a lot of viewers right now, including Sony PlayStations. So every Sony PlayStation is watching us. I
Damn.
hope you're just a bot and not a real
we
person.
are being beamed live to every Sony
Yeah,
PlayStation. Yes,
Ian's at home trying to fucking play like Apex Legends on his PS5, and it just keeps getting interrupted with me talking about getting high in Asheville
Seeing
for the
like
first time.
three just like fucking like sloppy dudes talking about like Black Friday sales.
Oh boy.
I love it.
Well,
I think we should
Is
take
this-
take a step back from Black Friday. We should keep moving Black Friday back, and talk about much like Black Friday. We should move back in time. Keep moving back in time and start talking about Thanksgiving.
that movie with John Goodman as the dinosaur.
So I heard that George H.W. Bush started doing the presidential turkey pardon because he was involved in the assassination of JFK and wanted to rub it in a subtle way.
No.
Can you confirm or deny this?
What I can confirm is that the term or the modern. It's weird to say modern, right? Like because H.W. Bush was not that long ago, but the presidential turkey pardon, as best as I could tell,
Well, we should take a
Did
step back even further.
officially start with George H.W. Bush.
Because people may wonder why turkeys and why Thanksgiving.
Okay, well, why turkeys, Nick?
Turkeys are a native bird to America. to the Americas.
That's true.
So when the Pilgrims and the Native Americans had their first met, and they had a big potluck together, the nearest bird to eat was the turkey, because vegans didn't exist back then.
Is this true? I actually did not. So the research that I did focused primarily on the presidential turkey pardon, and I did not get into the first Thanksgiving other than the George Washington proclamation of the first Thanksgiving. Is the shit that we were told in like elementary school about the first Thanksgiving, how accurate is that? Because I have to imagine not.
I'm going to say 1%. Honestly, probably 1%.
Given everything else that I was told afterwards,
not bad. That's not bad. That's 1 out of 100.
Given Howard Zinn's history of the people's history of the United States, I have to imagine it's not very accurate. Where they were just like, yeah, the Pilgrims showed up and
no,
they
because
were good
from
friends.
what I know, white folk like rolled in and immediately started slaughtering any Native American they came across. Columbus and crew were testing the sharpness of weapons by like hacking body parts off children.
Hold up.
So I don't know how you have a nice dinner after that.
I mean, the way that like murderers have historically had a nice dinner by just like
that's true.
Not caring about it.
Yeah, Sarah and I've been watching Hannibal.
Slow back then.
Sarah and I've been watching Hannibal. It seems to be pretty easy to murder a person, then have a really nice dinner afterwards. Yeah. Based on if you take Hannibal as a historical document.
Yeah, you don't typically have a nice dinner with like the family of the victims.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, supposedly the first Thanksgiving happened in 1621, which would make this the 400th Thanksgiving.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
I guess it's because is it the year of the first English expedition?
Yeah.
Because
totally.
that sounds right. I mean, that sounds like roughly the year.
I just Wikipedia'd it right now. But
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that we haven't heard more about that.
I'm surprised that there's not like I haven't seen on my Instagram. Yeah, a bunch of things being like the first Thanksgiving, everything you know is wrong.
Yeah, it feels like there should have been a viral Twitter thread.
You're a fucking dumb bastard for what you think you know about Thanksgiving.
Let's go once again to history.com.
That's
John, are you looking at the same thing?
No.
Hold up.
Okay, the
year. I'm gonna be right back. I apologize.
Why?
I guess I have to go take care of a thing.
We can actually just take a break. We'll be right back. This is an ad for Messy Boys, the monthly service that sends you clean shirts at the beginning of the month, lets you ruin them throughout the month, and then lets you put them back in a box at the beginning of the next month when they send you another set of shirts to fucking ruin. I'm a big fan. This is the third version of this shirt that I've owned because I spill raw oil and sewage on it at least twice a month. Check out for an additional $15 a month, or free if you use the code THIMK. Sweaty Boys with extra tampon-like padding in the armpits to suck up your sweat. It's not Sweaty Boys. It's not just for boys. That just sounds better. And we are back. I hope you enjoyed that ad for Messy Boys. Back to Thanksgiving. Unless there's something you would like to talk about first, Paul.
I was just going to talk about how our new cat loves to run into the restroom every time I use it.
Okay, hold on. Let me check with the producers. They're saying we can't allow a cute cat anecdote.
Okay.
They say that's tested well. Yes, it's tested well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dude, cats love to join you on the toilet. I've never.
Cats love yarn, fish, being in the toilet while you're pissing and shitting in it, and then also doing a little throw up on your clothes. which is why Messy Boys is such a good.
We've
package.
yet to have that, but we are batting about 750 for me going and using the
Now,
toilet.
someone
and
who
then
doesn't
Boris
bat,
just running in there.
Is that good or bad bat number?
That's 3 out of 4 times.
Once, twice.
If
Four
you
times?
hit
Okay.
3 out of 4 balls in the sport baseball, I
They
think
will-
you'd be really good.
They would
At
kill
baseball.
you. Like a
Maybe
400.
Batman, I don't know.
400 is like unheard of in baseball. Or not unheard of. Like a couple people have 400.
Yeah, 400 out of every 1 ball.
Sorry, so Paul, you said they'd
it's not
kill
possible.
you in a good way or bad way.
In a bad way, because they would suspect you were cheating heavily if you were batting. If you were hitting.
How would
3
you
out-
even cheat in such
Would
a
they
way?
think you
so
were
as
some
to
kind
hit?
of robo batter?
Okay, hold up. Do you not know about the Astros?
No.
Like the
Nick, do you know about the Astros?
yes, the
team,
dog
Astros?
from
Okay.
the Jetsons.
I'm sorry. We need to get back on track here.
As
We need to get
a
back into
quick
Thanksgiving.
as a quick aside. All right, the Houston Astros, we're
This aside's
like,
taking too
literally-
long. Let's get back to the cat. The
Literally-
producers are
literally
in my
last year
ear.
found
They're
us
saying
cheating. They were found cheating by having a guy hang out in the dugout and hitting a trash can to signal what type of pitch the pitcher was going to throw.
That's not cheating. That's just
It gives you it gave the batters a heads up of what type of pitch was
that's
coming.
recreating that song from
therefore
Doug.
made it
Please move on with the
easier.
cute cat anecdote.
that's not.
I don't have
cheating.
any more, but Boris just likes it when I pee. Apparently,
He's a little piss freak.
What's that 1975 album? I like it when you pee because when you. All right, what bullshit were we talking about?
we're talking about Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
That's right. Oh, the first Thanksgiving in 1621, where we feasted with the Pilgrims on Plymouth Rock, feasted with the Native Americans, and then sent them a Trojan turkey,
Here-
a wooden turkey with our. Is this right?
No, it says the newly arrived pilgrims. That part you're correct. And
Yeah, I got
the
that.
Wampag-oag. What? Wampatog.
Fundamentally, I was right
Wampatog.
there.
The Wampatogs.
I love that the producers had that ready to go.
Yeah.
They were like, Nick's gonna fuck this up.
Yeah. Gathered at Plymouth, Plymouth for an.
It's that Massachusetts tradition of like impenetrable pronunciations of something.
An
Right.
autumn harvest celebration. An evening regarded as America's first Thanksgiving. That's a lot like our Thanksgiving. But what was really on the menu at the famous
kind of
banquet,
reminiscent.
and which of today's time-honored favorites didn't earn a place at the table until later in the holidays, 400-year
Cranberry
history?
sauce.
I'm going to guess cranberry sauce.
I feel like cranberry sauce was the first thing, probably.
While no records exist of the exact bill of fare, the Pilgrim chronicler Edward Winslow. You've heard of Edward Winslow. We've all heard of Edward
Too many
Winslow.
Urkels on your team. That's why you're Winslow.
Was Kanye
I know
at
who
the
that
first
is.
Thanksgiving?
While no records exist of Kanye being at the first Thanksgiving, Winslow noted in his journal that the colony's governor, William Bradford, sent 4 men on a fowling mission in preparation for the 3-day event. Quote, a harvest being gotten in, our governor sent 4 men on fowling, so that we might, after a special manner, rejoice together. After we had gathered the fruits of our labors, they 4 in one day killed as much fowl as, with a little help beside, served the company almost a week. In On Plymouth Plantation, Bradford's famous account of the founding, oh my God, there's a great store of wild turkeys, of which they took many, besides venison. Wild, but not domestic turkey, was indeed plentiful in the region and a common food source for both settlers and Native Americans. But it's just as likely the fowling party returned with other birds, such as ducks, geese,
Okay,
or
so
swans.
so we had all that for just birds. Some birds.
Yeah, we probably had a bird or two.
Okay,
Instead
cool.
of bread-based stuffing, herbs or onions or nuts. Instead of bread-based stuffing, herbs, onions, or nuts might have been added to the birds for extra flavor.
That sounds good.
Did you know?
I mean, you would have to because turkey is a shitty meat.
Winslow
I
wrote
think it's a
that
bad
the
meat.
hold on. Wampanoag guests arrived with an offering of 5 deer. Culinary historians speculate that the deer was roasted over a spit with a smoldering fire, and that colonists might have used some of the venison to whip up a hearty stew. Yum.
Cool.
There were also fruits and vegetables. Onions,
Nick.
beans,
This
lettuce,
rocks.
spinach,
This
cabbage,
fucking
carrots,
rules.
peas, corn. Might have
I've
been
lost
served.
everybody.
What? Oh,
I have both of you guys.
yeah.
Super
This
clear.
is this is Paul's punishment.
You can hear me, right?
Oh, I
Nick?
can hear you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, cool. Well then,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Let
hear
you know
fine.
that fruits indigenous to the region included blueberries, plums, grapes, gooseberries. What's a gooseberry? I hear they taste like goose. Raspberries, and of
gooseberry.
course cranberries, which Native Americans ate and used as a natural dye.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So cranberries were on the menu.
Cooks didn't begin
Oh my
boiling
God.
cranberries with sugar and using the mixture as an accompaniment for meats until about 50 years later.
We don't know that.
So
So
they
yeah,
believe that
fundamentally the same.
this is actually, I think, interesting. Culinary historians believe that much of the first Thanksgiving meal consisted of seafood, mussels in particular.
Oh, interesting.
Uh,
I guess that makes sense. You're in New England.
What
Yeah.
happened?
Mussels and curds were probably one of the food. Lobster, bass, clams, and oysters might have been part of it.
Okay.
Edward Winslow, once again, says, "Our bay is full of lobsters all the summer and affordeth variety of other fish. In September, we could take a hogshead of eels in a night of small labor and could dig them out of their beds all the
we
winter.
go.
We have mussels at our door. Oysters, we have none near, but we can have them brought by Indians when we will." He said that. That's a quote. I would have not said that word that he said.
I wonder if I wonder if like the Native Americans ate seafood. I really don't know about like Native American foodways at all. Like would they I assume they would have made whatever use of whatever they had around them. I'm realizing now I don't know anything about Native American food other than like fry bread.
Yeah,
but
it sounds
that's
like Native
obviously
Americans ate
maize.
oysters.
post Lapsarian tradition there.
Yeah.
They ate deer as one would.
Am I coming through? Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, you're
apologize.
good.
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah, we got
You've
you.
always been here.
Cool. Like my internet, I think just like shut off and turned back on. So
Paul, you've been talking to us for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, we've heard you the entire time.
really,
Yeah,
That's
it was
very
weird.
funny.
You
no,
cussed a lot.
yeah, it's so weird.
yeah. Okay. I was gonna say my internet just like straight up cut out and then came back. So, but yeah, I like everything that I was told is like fish and maize, and then like obviously I guess like whatever
Yeah.
game you could find. So
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's this Thanksgiving is obviously a holiday really bound up with certain politically fraught issues. But I feel like a sort of annual harvest festival is pretty ubiquitous in all human cultures forever.
yes, but also Thanksgiving is way late in the harvest, right? Like I feel like most harvest festivals are
Well, like
closer-
a pre-winter, right? Like
sure.
yeah.
Winslow, the last thing he wrote about, who was actually there, is that many of the Indians coming amongst us and amongst the rest of the greater king Massaoit. Massaoit with some 90 men. The preceding winter had been harsh for the colonists. 78% of women who had traveled on the Mayflower had died that winter, leaving only 50 colonists around. And according to eyewitness accounts, amongst the pilgrims, there were 22 men, just 4 women, and over 25 children and teenagers. So
That's a buyer's market if you're a woman, I have to say.
yeah,
Like,
Jesus, and a lot of there. Wow. So like 100.
you really have your pick of the litter there.
So it was mostly Native Americans for this.
Yeah, I imagine if you're like a Native American, there's probably some novelty to it of like, all right, these guys, as far as we can tell, claim to have come across the ocean. There's like none of them.
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, maybe they have some technology that we're not familiar with, but really, this is like these, it would be like if aliens landed and we were just like, well, it doesn't seem that threatening. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
wonder,
there's just a bunch of dudes. They're down bad.
They're down bad,
and it's a
like
lot
it
of
feels
kids.
like, if anything, like kind of a.
They probably all have scurvy.
Yeah, they're
Probably
not
do.
doing
I mean,
great.
these guys haven't eaten well in months. They probably have never eaten good in their lives.
They mostly communicate
realistically.
you, and they're just like, "Hey, can you get us some oysters?" And you're like, "Yeah." And this time you're like, "All right, let's roll up with some deer."
Yeah.
Like,
They're like when your fucking like cousin or some shit shows up and it's just like, man, I'm like broke. Can I like have dinner at your house or something? Or like, do you have like anything? Like, do you know of anybody that's hiring right now or whatever?
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, man, sure. Like I'll help a stranger out. Like,
yeah, man, we can get you.
Fine.
I can get you some corn. Like,
yeah.
Well, it's so, not to like, I guess, skip ahead too much, but it's just very interesting that.
Okay. Well,
Paul's gone.
I'll pick it up from there then.
Yeah, what do you think
Cool,
Paul's
I'm-
thought was?
So.
Oh my God.
I think Paul was about to say that it turns out Thanksgiving actually turns out to be sort of like a sick, inverted holiday where like
What's going on?
the original one, insofar as like there's an original scenario, which I think this is probably apocryphal to begin with in some large extent, but like it's really about like, sort of Native American culture, probably just taking pity on a down bad group of like randos who washed up on shore with unknowable plans and language, and then it winds up being this sort of cruel inversion of that now. I don't know, but I also don't. I mean, when was the first actual Thanksgiving celebrated, like as a national holiday? Because it's like 150 years after that, supposedly.
1789.
Yeah. So
That
it
was
doesn't
the-
really have
That
anything
was
to do with
that was the proclamation that was when Washington was like, and it's weird because it is all about God, like despite the separation of church and state, blah 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 blah.
So,
Like there's a bunch of the stuff that we were told about history.
yeah, Thanksgiving, the original one it was a pilgrim religious feast, right? And then the Native Americans just kind of rolled up and helped them out. It wasn't a planned.
I don't know about that. What I know is just that like the stuff that I found like cites the like I have the proclamation from 1789 where George Washington said, whereas it is the duty of all nations to acknowledge the providence of Almighty God, to obey his will, to be grateful for his benefits, and humbly to implore his protection and favor. And whereas both houses of Congress have, by their joint committee, requested me to recommend to the people of the United States a day of public thanksgiving and prayer to be observed by acknowledging with grateful hearts the many signal favors of Almighty God, especially by affording them an opportunity peaceably to establish a form of government for their safety and happiness. Now, therefore, I do recommend and assign Thursday, the 26th day of November, next, to be devoted by the people of these states to the service of that great and glorious being, who is the benefit, and it goes on. But like,
I mean, well, okay. Let's get one thing straight. George Washington did not believe in God. Like, I don't care what, like, none of those guys bought.
well, a lot of them
shit,
were
right?
what, deists?
Deists or
The great
they were
clockmaker.
enlightenment guys. Like, I don't know. Maybe he believed in the supreme deity, but like, I don't know. I think I get the general sense of like the Congress was just like, we got to have this, and he's like, okay, fine, from that proclamation.
Also, for what it's worth, reading this scholastic.com, I'm going to say article, but it's definitely a click through for children. Thanksgiving that the Pilgrims, the English colonists, held was actually a days of prayer. They were praying, and so the what we think of as the first Thanksgiving was actually a feast in the autumn to celebrate their first successful harvest.
Okay, it seems late to be having a harvest, but climate change.
I really think that like November is not in, like, it's not so much like, oh, we're harvesting shit. It's like, oh, we have it harvested. We have arrayed before us all the results of our harvest, and now we're gonna shut the shit down for like.
Sure, that would buy. That I would buy.
Because like, I mean, like at this point, like there aren't a lot of crops that you actually harvest in November. Like you're done harvesting shit. And you have it all
like
stored. It's all stored in the silos. And
right.
shit.
The reason that people put up corn husks for Halloween, or at least my family did, is because you have corn husks by Halloween.
Yeah, right. Like, so I think, I don't know. I feel like Thanksgiving is like, it feels like some sort of vague continuation of like a harvest festival to me. But I guess, yeah, I didn't know that it was designed as like a day of supplication to God. The twin American shibboleths of God and like democracy.
So I think that the interesting thing, the thing that I pitched to Nick about this was rather than the Thanksgiving, because we have the whole history of the first Pilgrim Thanksgiving, was specifically the turkey pardon. Because that's just a bonkers thing to me that we have. That's specifically, I was thinking about it because, like, the other day, we got the hearing about we got the Kyle Rittenhouse.
That has to be one of the most sick juxtapositions in like American.
It's
history,
fucked up.
Right?
It
Like,
is incredibly fucked up.
One of the fucking.
That they were just like, yeah, this kid did not murder those people. In fact, he was totally cool for doing that. And Biden was just like, I have no opinion on that matter. Anyway, this turkey should not be sentenced to death.
And there's also like a beautiful symbolic resonance in this, like, essentially bird-like young man getting pardoned for the crime of murdering people, and then Joe Biden, like, as above, so below, right? Like, he gets pardoned, and then a turkey also
First time
gets
chatter, Petrolite, sup, beautiful losers. What is up, you beautiful loser? We're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. Cool. Good time to join.
But yeah, no, I think
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I think what he did was bad. Murder. Even if he murdered, even if one of the people he murdered was a pedophile, I think it's still bad.
Here's the thing.
I actually didn't know about that.
I don't know if that's true or not, right? Like, because that is one of those things that came out of, like, that is one of those things that came out. True. Okay, so it's one of those things that came out after the fact.
It's not like he
didn't know.
That,
if he knew,
he didn't know.
He'd be in jail for murder.
Like it was very much like, hey, he murdered this guy, and they're finding justice.
Just like imagining a scenario where it's like, I just like go out to like kill people, but accidentally just like kill 3 of the biggest war criminals in history.
It is the cop thing where, like, after somebody is killed by the police, they're just like, oh, we've got to find reasons that, like, well, but here's why they deserved it.
Yeah, and it's so fucked up that it becomes a thing of like, well, basically, like, to deserve to live in this country, you have to be virtuous, which is, again, hey, that's that French Enlightenment ideals coming back around.
Now, on the other hand, I want to say, we don't know for a fact that we don't know that any of the turkeys that were pardoned by these presidents were in fact not turkey pedophiles.
I think all the turkeys pardoned by the president are in fact war criminals.
I mean, they were criminals, right? You're not a criminal if you
I think if you held
get pardoned, so they were clearly on the hook for something.
If you held every single turkey that's ever lived to the standards of human morality in United States law, all of them would be sentenced to at least life in prison. I'm not saying that's right, and I actually think it's not right, and I don't think it's fair. And I think, once again, hot take here, I think the American criminal justice system might be a little fucked up. But when it comes to turkeys, it's working perfectly. I haven't
thought about it.
We allow more empathy for the common turkey.
Paul, where did they get these turkeys?
Okay,
all turkeys are babies. Paul, you looking at chat?
Yeah, I'm looking at chat.
Okay.
I see the turkeys.
No
and babies.
angel shit.
How do I?
These
I
are
don't wanna
adult
see the chat.
turkeys. You got to go to twitch.tv/thing.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
So the thing with the turkeys is that it is so the first presidential pardon, the official first presidential pardon is George H.W. Bush in
Of a turkey.
89
Not of a person.
of a turkey.
Okay.
The presidential pardon of a turkey is 89. And that is when Bush said, "Let me assure you in this fine Tom turkey that he will not end up on anyone's dinner table. Not this guy. He's granted a presidential pardon as of right now."
Not this guy.
That is the first official presidential pardon. Now,
I can't. Sorry.
No, what?
I can't get over the absolutely disgusting spectacle of a country that just like locks up some like I don't know like meaningful fraction of its population, like executes people in these horrific spectacles every year, doing like a ritual pardon of a fucking bird.
So it's absolutely absurd shit. And the fact is that it's not that old.
Judy show of a country.
I love
like
it
ice.
because it feels like a cruel, ironic, like acknowledgement of how terrible the rest of the country is.
Yeah. But like ice, it's this thing where we're like, oh, the presidential pardon has always been around. It's not 89. It is like just barely older than we are. There is a story of supposedly Lincoln pardoning a turkey, not using the term pardon, but like getting a turkey for Thanksgiving, or it's kind of when you go back that old, it's not just Thanksgiving, it's also like Christmas. They kind of like just wrap it into a fall turkey.
Quick
there's
question.
a story of his son getting really attached to a turkey and being like, "Dad, don't kill this turkey," and he's just like, "Okay, I won't kill the turkey."
Okay, so it wasn't a pardon. It was just
Yeah. Well, and that's
Abraham
the thing.
Lincoln thinking a turkey was cool.
Yes, and until HW, it's never been a pardon, or they not used the term pardon.
So why HW?
It's honestly, I think it is him stealing a bit from Ronald Reagan, which I will get to in a second.
Okay.
And this is going to be hilarious, and we'll wrap around to an old episode of Think. I promise you. So supposedly, and this could be apocryphal, Lincoln pardoning a turkey. Starting in the 1870s, there is a prominent Rhode Island wheeler and dealer. I think he is just a poultry person, but he was like a Rockefeller kind of type at the time, who, to gain favor with the president, would send turkeys to the current president, regardless of party, around Thanksgiving. Named Harold Voss, I believe is his name. Horace Voss, sorry. 1870s, he's a poultry dealer. He died in 1913. And then a couple other groups picked up sending turkeys to the presidents. And it wasn't until Truman in the 40s that it was specifically who is the group? It is the Poultry and Egg National Board and the National Turkey Federation sent Truman a turkey specifically because of outrage around the government encouraging poultryless Thursdays. Like, it was a fucking, like, I think what it was is that Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day that year all fell on Thursdays. And because of, I have to imagine, like, post-World War II rationing, the White House was encouraging poultryless Thursdays. And so this group sent Truman a turkey basically to, like, as a fucking, like, modern day own the libs shit.
Yeah. It's
as
easy
like
to forget
as a protest.
how much of like post World War II America in the immediate aftermath was some shit like Poultry Farmers Guild of America just like being immensely politically powerful for like the last 75 years.
Yeah. It's bonkers. And so
Okay.
basically from that point, so 47 was like when this group, it was not every year. It still seemed like it was sporadic. The WhiteHouseHistory.org is where I'm getting a lot of this. Jumps ahead to Kennedy, and this is really fucked up. This is why I wanted to make sure you were on for this, John. 1963, November 19th.
Yeah.
John F. Kennedy said they got him a turkey, and there's a great photo of him with the turkey with a fucking sign around his neck that says "Good eating, Mr. President," and he said, "Let's keep him going," and was like, "We're gonna send this bird to a farm."
Oh no!
3 days later, he gets fucking brained in Dallas.
Okay,
Which is
apparently the exact
incredible.
Kennedy quote was, "We'll just let this one grow."
Okay. It's
Wow.
yes.
I really respect JFK just providing us with so many Easter eggs.
Do you think it's
just
do
like
you think
I
if
love
he
the
ate that
idea-
turkey that he wouldn't have died?
Yeah, that's what my
I mean,
my head.
statistically, like if JFK had done anything, he probably wouldn't have died. Like if he just changed one little thing, like the sort of law of
butterfly
chaos
effect.
theory would just be like, yeah, he just would have been sitting differently in the car.
He
and the
wouldn't
bullet
have
wouldn't
died
hit him.
then, but was JFK?
I mean, I'm
the
sure they would have
first
got him in
victim of a-
Chicago if they hadn't got him in Dallas.
I just I
was he the
love
first
I
victim of a
love
Final Destination type scenario.
yeah, I just love the fucking idea that actually the J like there's a whole thing about because the Malcolm X, the people who were arrested for Malcolm X's murder, they were like actually they didn't do it, and it may or may not have been a CIA plot, and all the people who are witnesses were FBI informants.
There are definitely ones where we're like, we don't really know. Like it's like, RFK, we don't really know. MLK, we don't know. Malcolm X was definitely killed by the CIA. Like nobody.
Yeah, but I love the idea that actually it's going to turn out that it was not the CIA. It was the turkey.
turkey farmers
people. The turkey farmers were like, this motherfucker.
He turned down our turkey. That's some Sopranos
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Fair play for turkeys committee.
Yeah. Like not only is he Catholic, also he doesn't like our turkeys,
He
motherfucker.
turned down our fucking
Yeah.
turkey. We said good. We said good eating. We made up a sign that said "Good eating,
Yeah,
Mr.
they
President."
put a sign on the turkey's neck, and then they fucking got him.
That owns.
Apparently, also the newspaper the next about the event the next day did say Turkey gets presidential pardon.
Yes, they do say
Okay.
pardon, and they do say the word pardon and reprieve, but he himself did not say pardon.
Okay, so I mean, this makes HW's turkey pardon. This casts it in a new light for me, I have to say.
Yeah. So the thing is let me try to see if I can find the fucking quote. So it is basically JFK gives the turkey the pardon or whatever. Nixon and his wife both like send the turkey upstate to live on a farm or whatever. The thing is that in 1987, the first president to actually use the word pardon at the National Thanksgiving turkey presentation was Ronald Reagan during the height of the Iran-Contra affair. Reagan was questioned about whether he planned to pardon any of the aides accused of wrongdoing, and he gestured towards the turkey and just said, "Well, I'll pardon him."
Yeah, they were yelling like, "You're in trouble for the Contra thing, aren't you?"
And Reagan was just like, "Oh yeah, chop salad,
Oh,
yeah, we love it."
They're like, "You're in big trouble for Contra," and he's like, "It's a big turkey."
Yeah. And granted, this
You're
is
gonna
also
pardon
87.
everyone. I'll
Ronald
pardon the
Reagan's
turkey.
brain is fucking mush.
Yeah.
Right? He had pudding brain at that point. But yeah, so he does say like, "I'll pardon him," is what history.com says. I think there's a larger quote that I can't find at the moment. But it is kind of like that is, I think, I saw like a meme going around of like how every president since Reagan have just been a version of Reagan. Like there was Reagan, HW was dumb Reagan, Bill Clinton was Democrat Reagan, Bush was country Reagan.
Just
Obama
imagining doing that with like Chester A. Arthur, but for like 30 presidents.
You're right.
Like Reagan was just like Alzheimer's Chester A. Arthur.
But yes, it does seem like what happened is like in '89 was when Bush was. So there were a bunch of animal rights activists at the White House at the time, and so Bush, like HW, was like, "Oh, I'm gonna give this turkey a pardon," and that was the official pardon. But it does very much feel like it came out of him like thinking back to the Reagan thing, which I feel like came up a couple times. But it's just like it's a very goofy thing, and then that's just continued like since that moment onward.
And
it's been
I feel like it's also got to be this thing of like George H.W. Bush is really one of the least charismatic people to have ever walked the earth. Like that's kind of his strong suit, is that he's basically a black hole. And like you throw a pencil at him, it just disappears.
Do you know about
I think all the
bit
time
in The
of
Simpsons
that
when
and like
photo of him
George
holding
H.W.
up the
Bush and Barbara
baseball.
Bush move across the street from Homer and Marge in The Simpsons? That's an episode. It's one of the best episodes of The Simpsons. But it has George H.W. Bush writing his memoirs, and he's like, "There, I'm finally finished. Good memoirs. Not great memoirs, but good."
Sure.
And yeah, and it just feels like an attempt to, like somebody was like, "All right, George, nobody like people don't really know what your name is in the country that you're the president of. Like, we're gonna put you, we're gonna like get your name on the map here. We're gonna like do something funny with you. We're gonna try and improve morale a little bit."
Yeah, he brought
They
in
come up with
Lorne.
that.
He brought in Lorne Michaels to do like a punch up of the Thanksgiving.
He got Dana
turkey.
Carvey to just read it for him so he could see what it would be like.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen George W. Bush's turkey pardon?
Oh boy, probably like when he was president. I feel like I probably
I don't
would have
know
seen
what
that.
year it is. It's absolutely incredible. There's one where he just keeps touching the turkey. Like he just keeps touching the turkey in a
Man, that's a classic W
I
move.
don't know who's standing next to him, but he grabs the wrist of the man standing next to him and then forces that guy just like slowly pulls that man's hand over
Like, hey,
to touch the turkey.
man.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yo, check this shit out.
I don't know if I can find it.
I found a video titled "Raw Video of Bush's Turkey Part." Bush's
I don't know if I want to see
national
the
turkey.
raw video of that.
It's from the Associated Press.
Yeah, no, this isn't the good. This isn't the good juice.
You just called a person up to come pet this turkey.
Yeah,
This rocks.
it's
Oh, it's a child. He's getting probably his children to come
Oh,
up.
I saw him grab a grown ass man's wrist and make him touch
This is probably this
turkey.
is the last one. Oh, here's one where he gets pecked while pardoning the turkey.
I remember that. That was like back in the days of like George W. era liberalism. That was like a news story for like 2 months. Like that was the dominant. Like if you followed like Truth Out, that was like the main
2002.
thing there. Yeah.
2002 is when he grabbed that man's hand and put it on the turkey. Fucking rocks. Holy
Did you
shit.
find a video?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you, Nick. It's rocks.
Yeah, I'd like to.
This is so fucking funny. Just like the idea of like the president being like, "No, man, you got to touch this turkey."
You have to touch this turkey.
Yeah, it's just like,
I mean,
no,
if
dude,
I like
this is
imagining like me as the president, and people would look at the million like dumbass things that I do and be like, "This is the fucking president," because of whatever I don't know.
Is that his? Who was Bush's vice president? I feel like I should know this.
Al Gore.
Was it Gore?
Yeah.
That's not true. He ran against
No,
Gore.
it was Dick Cheney, dog. Come on, man.
Dick Cheney. How do you
Get it
forget
together?
of all
Like,
vice
That's
How
not,
do you not
that's
know
not
that?
Cheney. That's not Cheney.
No,
It was always Dick Cheney. It was
No,
Dick Cheney.
I know. I mean, I know that. I'm saying the person in the video.
I can't
is
believe I
not-
got you with Al Gore. Like,
Here's the
Paul's
thing.
fucking
It kind of
deep
looks.
in
It
this
kind of looks like Al Gore.
What if they did that? What if it was like? What if they were like? He was like, "Let's make peace."
mean,
and then
what
he
if
just
I was
made
in
him
the
what's the
Mandela
fucking
turkey?
difference, right?
What
But,
if
like,
what
so-
if I was from the Mandela universe where we still were held by like the 1789 rules, where the loser of the presidential race became the vice president?
God, that would own just like total nothing. would ever happen.
What would the history of America be if we got rid of we just erased the VPs and it was the loser became the VP?
The Civil War would have happened in like 1815 or
14.
something.
Yeah,
like
it
would
would've
have
been
just
way
it would have immediately happened, or like I like the 1850s, you know, or something. We probably wouldn't have entered World War One. We probably wouldn't have done anything. Like we probably wouldn't have been a country for very long, if that had happened.
Man, okay, I'm gonna try and do this. I don't know if I'm capable.
I'm trying to figure out who that man is next to him.
I'm gonna say, let's hope this doesn't break the fucking stream.
Oh, dude, that was the first ever female turkey pardoned.
Damn, that's a huge milestone.
Yeah.
When are we? Never mind.
Sorry, the New York Times article about this immediately. First paragraph. President Bush spared the first female turkey in the history of White House Thanksgiving turkey pardons today. An act that was apparently so unfamiliar that Mr. Bush twice referred to Katie, a 30-pound all-white clump of feathers, as he.
I mean, it's a fucking turkey. Like I get, like it's not.
I just
What?
love
You
it.
know-
I love that 2002 New York Times was just like, Bush is misgendering this turkey. This piece of shit.
I think it's more like Bush was dumb because back then it was like
Oh yeah, that was like
misgendering
the
was good. It was good. It was a good thing to do in 2000.
yeah the height of Bush saying nuclear.
And yeah, that was the only joke was like Bush is just he's too stupid to be president.
Yeah, he's incredibly dumb. We should still invade Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
But
Now,
he's
yeah,
very
we should
dumb.
definitely do the things that like his colleagues are telling us to do and that he's telling us to do, but he's really stupid.
Here's John. I don't know if Nick knows this, but a hilarious. So talking about going back to Clone Wars, where we started this before I think we officially were starting this podcast.
Okay, so what you mean is completely going off topic.
No, this is on topic. There is a character in the Clone Wars television series named Senator Halliburton, because the Clone Wars
goodness.
is entirely a metaphor for the war in the Middle East.
Jesus Christ.
And how a fine, upstanding republic could descend into fascism. And it's just very funny to me that they're like, we got to name some Star Wars characters. Let's do what George would have wanted and name one Halliburton. It rocks. The show's good.
Yeah, I will never interface with this show.
No, I don't expect you to.
Okay,
man,
hold on. I got it. I fucking got it on stream.
Hell yeah. It's over to the left a little bit.
No, I just fixed it.
Okay. I'm a little bit behind. Yeah, just grabbing that man. Just making him shake that fucking turkey.
Like I can't lie. Like it's totally possible that in front of a bunch of cameras and a bunch of people, that I would just blank and do this the same thing, right? Like I would just be like, if I were just chilling, I'd be like, Paul, check this turkey out. Like come
Yeah,
here,
well,
check this out.
especially if you're like, Oh man, yeah. The funniest thing about the most recent presidential pardon is that Biden underwent a colonoscopy earlier that day.
Oh my God, yeah, that was a hell of a day. Just like, okay, first black female president ever.
Yeah, it was Biden
having
Biden
a tube up his ass.
Yeah, Biden colonoscopy. Kamala's president.
Of murderer. Pardon of Turkey.
Rittenhouse innocent. Turkey innocent.
I honestly want that's like say what you
hell
will,
of a news
and
day.
a lot of these events were really bad. One of the most American days of all time, like one of the most quintessentially, like, absolutely crucial to understanding our republic.
The turkey pardon is absolutely one of those things that in like 100 years, the question is gonna be what the fuck is a turkey? Because turkeys will be probably extinct. We'll have somehow killed them all.
Yeah, we'll stop eating them pretty soon, I think. Like it's already widely accepted that turkey is not like a viable food source.
It sucks. Nobody likes it.
It's not. They're not like meant to be eaten by human beings.
It is incredibly funny to me. Like, I don't know, every day I just feel like we're experiencing a moment that you're like, but like, how do you explain this to anybody in 30 years? Oh man, I cannot.
This is the one that I was thinking of. Do you guys remember this?
Where the turkey goes into his coat? Yeah,
that's a good one.
Oh my God,
where is this?
It's I found it on the Guardian. But yeah, just like, you know.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go back to. Oh no, this is different now. Wait, I fixed it. Okay, I showed what I wanted to.
That's incredible. That is such a good fucking photo.
It's really one of the greatest images ever taken.
I have to imagine the guy that he grabbed was one of the breeders, because all the write-ups don't mention him by name despite him being up there, but they do say that he was up there with the like one of the breeders of the turkey. Oh, it is. It's Ron Prestage.
Okay.
That's the guy's name.
Well, that's
cool.
Oh, hold up. He was arrested in 2014 for carrying a loaded handgun and magazine in a briefcase while trying to enter the Cannon House office building.
That's not so bad.
That's okay.
That's not that bad. Like, I mean,
I saw arrested and I was like straight up like this dude was at January 6th or whatever.
I mean, my first thought with somebody being arrested is always like, especially if they're connected to like the Bushes or something like that, is always like they had child pornography. But like in this case, I mean, and trying to enter an office building with a handgun is like most Americans enter an office building with a handgun every day.
That's to be
like,
expected.
It's not that. Yeah, it's just not that bad.
He is the National Pork Producers Council president-elect currently.
Pork?
Pork.
You can't go from turkey to pork.
It's hog and turkey farm.
That's fucked up.
That's
to me
fucked
for
up.
some
You
reason.
carry a gun into an office building. I accept that.
Would you like to? Here's his write up on the nppc.org website. Ron Prestige, DVM, a hog and turkey farmer from Camden, South Carolina, serves as NPPC president-elect. Prestige is the owner/president of Prestige Farms, which has locations in North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, Iowa, Oklahoma, and Texas. Prestige is the founding member of Palmetto Agribusiness Council. He's also a board member of University of Auburn College of Veterinary Medicine, the South Carolina Poultry Federation, and serves on the board of trustees for Black River Electric Cooperative. He served as chairman for the South Carolina Poultry Federation, National Turkey Federation, that would have been when he did the turkey pardon, and U.S. Poultry and Egg Association. He also served as past advisory committee member of Environmental Management Solutions, LLC. He graduated.
Is this building to something, Paul?
None of this. There's no fucking real jobs in here. Has this guy ever held down a real fucking job?
I'm getting
This guy
to
ever
it.
operated a fucking forklift?
He graduated from North Carolina State University with his BS degree in 1977. Doesn't say what that is. And graduated from Auburn University with his DVM in 1982. He completed his equine surgery internship at UC Davis in 1983, and that's where they left it. So this dude has
He's a horse doctor.
He doesn't have a degree,
he's a doctor.
but he did an internship in horse doctor.
No, he's doctor of veterinary medicine.
Is that what
DVM.
DVM is? Okay.
Yeah. Like, he's a vet.
I thought that was Department of Voter Vehicles.
Okay, so this guy's touched plenty of turkeys. I guess it's.
I mean,
not
yeah,
that
he's
weird.
like, so this guy knows what he's talking about.
He's a turkey toucher. Is what
I
you're
mean,
saying.
he's in the corporate sector now, but he's clearly touched a horse stick or two in his time.
You touch a horse stick, you touch a turkey. Same thing.
He's clearly been elbow deep in a horse here and there, you know.
It's the only way to get them to have babies. You're either jerking them off or
You got
putting your whole arm
horse
inside
cop?
them.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
what are
turkey
you gonna
cop.
Yeah, you got a horse cop. Yeah, turkey.
Got a
cop.
turkey. Got a turkey cop.
All right. I feel like we hit the good
we've
juice.
we hit the juice.
I feel like we hit the
juice
gravy.
has been
We've
hit.
covered the gravy.
Can we all go around and say our favorite Thanksgiving foods?
We can.
I was curious. We don't have to do
Yeah,
it. I
you
was
go
just curious
first.
if we could
I gotta
do it.
think.
The corn pudding is the
Ooh.
best. That's the best Thanksgiving item to me.
I will be honest. I think the thing that I like the most about Thanksgiving is the rolls.
Dude, I
The
was gonna
rolls
say
are sick.
rolls.
Yeah,
I was gonna
rolls
say
are sick.
rolls. But you said rolls, so I can't say rolls.
I love the roll.
Yeah. Well, 'cause my-
stuffing's pretty
what is-
tight.
What
Creamy
is
casserole
this,
is pretty tight.
What is does everyone's
Pumpkin
family have
pie.
like a go-to thing that is maybe not like, because when I think Thanksgiving, like I think of my family doing the ham with cloves, like the clove ham, and then like a tiny turkey, because my dad's allergic to turkey, so he could not have turkey.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Kind of are you talking about like fun, unique stuff?
Not necessarily unique, but like, so like our Thanksgiving dinner was always the ham, a tiny turkey, and then like glazed carrots, and usually green beans that used to have bacon. Then my mom stopped making them with bacon when I became vegetarian. And that was like pretty much it, and that and rolls. So like of those things, that's why rolls is my favorite. So I feel like if you know what the rest of the spread is, the favorite makes more sense.
That's true. I mean, my family was like, most of the stops got pulled out for Christmas, but for Thanksgiving, it was always like turkey. The big other thing was like mashed potatoes.
Yeah, mashed potatoes, classic.
Huge deal. A lot of different casseroles, all different, all the same. You know what I mean? Like all kind of like the same operating principle, which are all fine to me. But like the corn casserole is the one that I'm going for. And then like the standard like cranberry sausage, which I don't have a whole lot. I don't really give a shit about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, really, what it is like I will say that like Thanksgiving is the one time that like the average American does like the sort of like classic like Latin American foodways tradition of just like you put all the food on a plate and you just mix it together. Like you don't just like eat everything separately. You just like create like a blur of different foods. Like most people don't do that most meals here, but like on Thanksgiving everybody eats like that.
My mom.
So really, I mean, the best food is like the permutations of the various different meals, little dishes.
Okay.
My mom won't do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
My mom refuses to mix food together. So
That's psycho. On Thanksgiving, it's psycho to
my
me.
mom's
Like,
bringing
no Thanksgiving food is
divided
good enough to eat on
plates
its own.
over tomorrow so that she can enjoy her food the way she wants to. She hates it when
Insane.
things touch. My dad
Insane.
puts everything together, just shoves it all together, mixes it up. into
I mean,
slop.
you just like, and then you just put it. You take a big scoop of shit, you put it on a roll, and you eat it, and that's Thanksgiving food. You know.
Lately, since last year, and we're doing it this year too, but my dad hates casseroles. That's what he hates. He wants just straight food. He says you don't need to put it in a casserole. So
It's food if it. Well,
it's too many
That's so-
things. He doesn't want like something turned into a casserole. He doesn't want green bean casserole. He just wants green beans. He doesn't want blah, blah, blah. But I like green bean casserole, so we're having green bean casserole. But I've started doing a lotte. Last year I did a lotte for my parents. They were really into it, and I'm planning on doing that tomorrow as well.
Cool.
That's good.
But that's like our corn.
I mean,
dish.
I did not have green bean casserole, I think, until last year or the year before. And it was weird to me because we had always just done straight green beans with maybe some other stuff in it, but like pretty standard green bean.
Yeah.
Like the fried onions was like new to me.
Yeah, the fried onion, that's classic. My family does broccoli casserole. Which is
That sounds kind of good.
a little, if made by the right person, it's really good. It can be downright Lovecraftian otherwise, but it's
I mean, my family used to,
that's solid food.
for the big gatherings, we used to have fun things. Jelly bean casserole, tuna
Oh,
in a
that's-
bread bowl,
Yeah, there's always some Jello casserole. That was just
An aspic. Everyone loves an
plantain
aspic
salsa.
for Thanksgiving.
Usually, someone will make like a really conspicuously like non-American food and bring
Sardines
it
in a
in.
blanket.
I
Sounds
did gumbo last
Yeah.
year, 2 years ago. I did like
That was
Gumbo?
really good. 2 years ago, I remember
yeah, it's
that.
2 years
Yeah.
ago. The
That was real solid.
vegetarian. I did like a vegetarian gumbo for
That was
Thanksgiving.
fantastic. Yeah, we would have like, various members of my family would go abroad and come back with like, German food, or we'd have like some Cambodian food, or just something would turn up. But again, I maintain it's more about like the spread and like the admixture.
process.
Yeah, well, it's all carbs, right? Like I feel like traditionally
protein.
it's like
Yeah, because it's a celebration
Well-
of eating food to survive, which we don't do anymore.
right. Well, you
but,
get
like,
you get the protein from like a turkey or a ham, but everything else is carbs.
Yeah.
feel
Like
like
even
ham, we
even the
should've
green
had
bean is like adding a bunch of shit to make it carbs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're doing. I think Sarah and I are gonna try to go to a friend's Thanksgiving thing on Saturday. So
That's cool.
I think we're gonna do mashed potatoes, and I think I'm gonna try to do like a mac and cheese or something. I don't know yet.
Yeah, I was gonna, I was gonna attend a sort of Thanksgiving thing tomorrow, but I think a coworker of mine might have just got COVID, so I might
Oh, cool.
stay home.
No.
I might not go. I might not go to a social gathering tomorrow, and instead make like a sandwich or something.
Damn.
Like drink beer. I don't know. We'll see.
But there's this place that I just found out about. Now, I know neither of you eat meat, right? So you can't enjoy it. But there's a chain sub shop, sandwich shop. It's called Subway. Just kidding. It's called Capriotti's. You know about Capriotti's? Capriotti's?
know.
Capriotti's.
Capriatis.
They have I've ordered 2 meals from them lately, and they're fucking incredible and very affordable too. But they have a sandwich called the Bobby.
The Bobby.
The Bobby.
Hold on,
That's named
I
after
locked
Jeff.
myself out of
After
my computer.
RFK.
It's called the Bobby. It's the nationally acclaimed bestseller, and it's got homemade turkey, cranberry sauce, stuffing, and mayo on it. On a sub, in a
that's-
sub, combined.
Okay.
So they really take your idea, John, of just shoving everything
Yeah.
together, and they sell it as a
That's
sub,
what
and
it
it's
is.
fucking incredible.
Yeah. That's all. Like, Thanksgiving is not. Like, all these foods, they feel, taste, look the same. Like, they can be mixed interchangeably. Like, and it's just like tiny little. It's almost like a Japanese food where it's like the differences are very subtle, and you have to be like tasting really thoughtfully to understand the difference between like green bean casserole and broccoli casserole and corn casserole and like all that shit. It's like it's all the fucking same, and it's just like you just have an infinite variation within the same sort of small palette.
I mean, I fully plan Friday to go to the store and get some hoagie buns and just make my own
yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know if they're doing it this year, but Dirty Frank's up in Columbus.
They had the Thanksgiving.
They
dog.
had a Thanksgiving dog that was
Yes,
just like
yes.
stuffing, mashed potatoes, all of that on hot dog.
Oh God. So you shouldn't go there. Apparently.
The Dirty Franks?
No, Dirty Franks is fine. The new thing I'm thinking of, because that sounds incredible. But what's the fucking Chicago metal burger shop?
Kuma's.
Kuma's Corner. Kumu Corner.
It's wild that I knew that.
Well, you know, my brain, I'm blanking on it. I knew it. I just
I've heard the owner sucks.
The owner
Like,
sucks.
owners.
They
all owners suck. They all suck.
and they love cops there. But they have they have the burger of the month is the Sleep Burger, named after the band Sleep.
Oh yeah, Dope Smoker.
Oh,
Yeah, Dope Smoker. And they have a turkey patty, tempura fried stuffing patty, both of them together, turkey gravy, fried sage cranberry sauce on a pretzel bun, and that sounds
That sounds solid.
absurd.
Again, you're working. It's all within the same color palette, so you can put it all together. It'll be great.
Dirty Franks is stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, scallions, and a side of cranberry sauce on a hot dog.
Ooh.
I'm also very curious. I did not know they had this. They have where is it? I just saw it. The Mac Attack. Mac and cheese bites, cheese sauce, and bacon bits on a hot dog.
Man, I gotta get. I'm worried. I'm like never gonna get to go to Dirty Frank's again.
Yeah,
You're
my
gonna
dad
get
asked
to
me
go to
about,
Dirty Frank's again.
Thanks.
Yeah, my dad asked me about going to see a hockey game in like March or something, and my brain was like, I can't plan for that. But in the back of my head, I'm like, I bet I can go to Dirty Frank's while I'm up there. So like, I could probably block out a Thursday or whatever.
And whether you're eating Dirty Frank's, Filthy Frank's, fucking Shit Shack,
Shakshuka?
Kuma's Corner, or your family's Thanksgiving, you don't have to be worried about just running a fucking dumpster train on your shirt, because with Messy Boys, you can just get a new one next month. And I think that's where the producer's telling me to wrap the podcast. We've done it. We did it. We did another thanks, a new legacy. Great. Don Cheadle did not show up, but maybe that's because I did not pay him, and he specifically requested to be paid. Instead, he just tweeted a picture of me, which is the thing that Don Cheadle does on Twitter. Anyone that does not please him, he will just post a picture of them in response. But you guys, you got anything you want to close out on?
I just, I want to wish everybody a safe holiday season. I hope I don't have COVID.
I hope you don't have COVID.
I hope you don't have COVID either, and I hope that I will get the chance to come up to Chicago sometime soon.
I'll probably see you around Christmas though, because I'll be back.
Yeah, I heard that there's some people coming back for Christmas. We got to do a Christmas song.
I'll be back.
Yes, we do have to do that.
So,
well, yeah.
Can we do?
That's all I got.
But
can we do?
What?
When we're all back in Cincinnati, can we do a Christmas stream, and then you can play the song on stream?
Love it. Love it.
Sure.
Do you think we could actually set that up? Because that actually sounds
that would own. Yeah, let's do it.
Possible.
We'd probably do that.
Something to think about. I'll be back for, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 days.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be around for a few.
It sounds like my life is going to be hell for the next month and a half ish. I don't know. So my work is not going to allow me to leave.
Damn.
So,
right.
I mean, it's whatever. It's like it's
Well, that's because and you can't stop working because you have to pay off the debt from the monkey room and all that monkey stuff we did. And
all those monkeys that we bought.
Davy Jones's skeleton. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I hold up real quick as an aside. Sorry.
No, it's the end. It's the end.
No, we brought up the monkeys. We brought up the monkeys.
No, you can't indulge every single aside.
Nick,
Just
I
say
think
goodbye.
literally
Just say your fucking
I think
goodbye.
the last episode we've recorded was about NFTs and how fucking stupid they were, and it's insane to me that 6 months later we're still doing this.
Yeah, that's why I made the NFT joke, because I typed in THIMK on Spotify to figure out what the last thing we released was. That isn't an aside at the end of the episode. That's research you do before we start this.
Okay.
No,
Goodbye.
I don't. Do you think I've researched beforehand?
Okay,
No.
Paul, anything you want to say to close it?
Nick is gonna murder me after this. So
No, I'm just going
I
to
don't
block
have
you on
anything.
Discord. I won't. I'll let you live.
Wow. All right. Well, no more episodes of Think because I will not be able to speak to Nick.
No, we'll do one.
We'll
we're
have to
going to do
record-
one next week about Boxing
Yes.
Day. What's the Boxing Day equivalent of Thanksgiving? Leftovers? Well,
The Boxing Day equivalent of Thanksgiving would be Black Friday, I think, which we already covered at the beginning. So we should do a Cyber Monday. What's the history of Cyber Monday?
we'll do something.
Sad.
We'll do something next week. All right.
We'll figure it out.
Any plugs? Any websites y'all like?
Local 58
John?
on YouTube.
Forums.stevehoffman.tv.
Everybody email support at neopets.com and let's get those games converted to HTML5.
We're bringing, in order for Biden to win in 2024, we're going to get him to promise to make the giant omelet from Neopets real.
Yes.
That's
Everybody can visit the giant omelet once a day and get a free omelet. That's gonna be Biden 2024. Make the Neopets omelet real.
Yep. Hey,
All right, great.
until next time, don't think too hard without us. Paul, you got one? You got one. You always got one. Hold on, Joe. Do you think of it? John, you got one? Do you got like a little catchphrase that you like to use in your life?
Nick, I just think I'm out of ideas.
That's really good. All right. Paul, what's yours?
I was gonna say, don't let that turkey tickle your dick.
Keep fucking that turkey. All right. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.